Your Vision to Success podcast is intended for personal growth and storytelling. If you are experiencing a mental health emergency, please dial 988. The conversations you'll hear are based on real experiences and perspectives, but are not a substitute for professional mental health care. If you or someone you know is struggling, please contact a licensed mental health professional or your local healthcare provider. You will find additional support, resources, and contact information in the show notes.
All right, Christine, tell the people what we're going to be talking about today.
So today we're talking about mental health.
Mental health. And how did you put it? I liked how you put it.
I said there is no health without mental health.
And that's very true. So what about mental health? Why is mental health so critical as a small business? So I know this, but just to reiterate for people, why is it so important to be mental health aware?
Yeah, I think to be aware is the most critical, because if you're aware of your mental health and whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly, whatever you want to say, if you're going downhill, uphill, whatever part of the roller coaster you're on of life, I think you have to have mental health because it allows you to serve your clients, it allows you to serve your employees, yourself. Each other business owners.
Yep. Now you've worked with other companies and businesses in the past, correct?
Correct, yeah. And I also worked at NAMI Northern Virginia as their president and CEO through COVID. So we navigated going from all in-person programming to virtual programming. And so that was an adventure, but I couldn't have done it, without my staff.
Yeah.
And I think that it was interesting because the reason I started at NAMI Northern Virginia is because...
What's NAMI again?
National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Okay.
So you have NAMI or you have Mental Health America.
Okay.
Are generally the mental health nonprofit organizations that are available.
Okay.
If you're in the substance use disorder arena and recovery, in Virginia, we have SARA, so SAARA, that serves the substance use community. And then there are a couple of other organizations also. And generally, you can, if I were in the beginning stages of my mental health journey, so mine's been going on since 2004, I would Google peer support and then mental health or substance use disorder.
To get something local?
To get something local. And peer support is related to having somebody there to talk to that's experienced your journey before.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think, and it's getting better, and I've always wanted to ask this question. I'm surprised I haven't asked you this yet. Why do you think it's still a taboo subject? Is it because you can't see it? I will say people have been talking more about mental health. Mm-hmm. It has been more to the forefront, but why? But it's still not to where I believe it should be. It should be part of our regular health checkup. If you go to get a physical, I believe mental health should be part of your physical. Why do you think it's still kind of that taboo?
I think there's a couple of different reasons. There's differing perspectives on how people come down with mental health disorders or substance use disorders.
Do you think I don't want to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
But do you think that's the main reason? And it could be, I could be wrong, but I think the main reason is because people think it's all about drugs and drug use. Or I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, I think there's different perspectives on how to handle the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So not everyone believes recovery is possible.
Mm.
And that's a foundational belief. That's something that...
What do you mean it's not possible? Like they don't believe?
They don't believe people can recover from either mental health or substance use challenges.
Wow.
So they don't believe that putting money towards the initiatives is going to result in a positive outcome.
I get it. Yep, I get it. I don't get it, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I forgot. You asked me a question, and I know I said part of the answer was, but I don't remember what the question was.
Oh no! Like, why is it still not part of
Taboo.
our daily or yearly checkup? Even and like, why is it not part of our routine?
Yeah, I think it's mainly because of stigma and because people have differing opinions on how it needs to be handled.
Okay.
So a lot of individuals who, there's stigma on both sides, mental health, substance use recovery, and I should also include problem gambling in that as well.
Yeah.
Because there is peer support available for all three, and depending on what state or commonwealth you live in, it is out there. So there's just stigma attached to it. And the way you get rid of stigma is through education and experience. I mean, if you know someone who has struggled, either mentally or substance use, problem gambling, whatever the issue might be, or the challenge might be, you know that their journey is different than yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ultimately, to have the understanding that both of you are human and both of you are born with the same humanity, I think is really critical.
Yeah.
Because that's human rights, all of that kind of thing. When you're in behavioral treatment care, sometimes that can get questionable, whether or not the human rights are being honored.
Oh.
If you're in, I'm speaking from experience in relationship to psychiatric care. But it's not just that. It's other aspects too, of care in relationship to mental health, substance use, problem gambling.
Okay. So let's get back to where the mental health for the business owner.
Yeah.
So with that, what you just talked about, I'm assuming, this is just me as a business owner, that the mental health aspect is even, I don't want to say more critical, but it should be a more focus, because the buck ends with you. And
Right.
if we've talked about this before, if you're not healthy
Right.
as a business owner, as a leader, how do you expect to keep your people healthy? That includes your, employees, your customers, the people you serve, your community.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk about that aspect, I guess.
Yeah, as a business owner, I feel like knowing where your boundaries are, knowing what is too much, just being aware of when you first get the inkling that you're not well, because you want to prevent the crisis.
Right.
You don't want to be in crisis, and you want to have a plan in relationship to, if you know you've been unwell for, I'll give you my example.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me, I went into crisis after only having slept 4 hours for about, I would say 6 months, 5 to 6 months.
4 hours in a day?
A night, yeah. Yeah, so I went into crisis because I wasn't getting enough sleep. So now I know if I'm not getting enough sleep, that's my first warning sign, is I'm not getting sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep at night, there's so much restoration that's happening during that time frame. You need that care for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I went off base a little bit,
No,
but that's
you're
just
good.
my personal story of
No, you're good.
how I ended up in crisis. And I didn't know what I didn't know at that time.
Yeah.
So I was more thinking, who cares? I'm not sleeping. I didn't know it could lead to a mental health crisis. Like, who knew?
I didn't know.
So it's something to be aware of. And is it going to happen the same way to everybody? No. Because everybody's different. So
I'll share my experience too, because we got kind of reconnected. For people who don't know, Christine and I went to high school together, and we kind of reconnected over COVID, right?
I
Kind
think
of.
so. I don't even remember anymore, to be honest. It's been
It was
off and
COVID, but I
on,
think we were in contact a little bit. But anyways, but I didn't know what you were doing until later. But it was 20.
19 or 2020. Oh, I was when I was in NAMI.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
Okay.
And we were trying to get with. Anyways, so in 2016, it was Thanksgiving of 2016. I remember this. I remember the day, and it was the night of Thanksgiving of 2016, and I woke up with a panic attack, and it scared the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since then, like there was a period of time where I was having panic attacks daily.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the doctor, and the first thing he does is gives me like some Xanax. Didn't even ask me questions. And I'm like, bro, I no, what are you doing?
Right. Right.
And so I think we connected because I kind of found out about that, and you really helped me through, because I was useless when the anxiety and the panic really sets in.
Right.
It's debilitating. I couldn't move. There were days I think about it now, even myself, I'm like, you're crazy, bro. Like, what are you doing? But in the moment, I was like, I couldn't move.
Mm-hmm.
It would hurt, like a pain that I couldn't. It's a pain. It's a numbness. It's like, it's oppressive.
Yeah.
And you really helped me realize, like, hey, I'm not alone. Like, I'm not the only one, mofo. There are others. And let me tell you a story. And you told me your story. I'm like, oh, shizzle, you're right. You remember that, though? I was like,
Right.
oh, jeez, Christine. You don't have to go there. But dang.
I don't know that they'll feel very enlightened after that. Well, maybe they will feel more enlightened after I tell the story, but that might be a different
I was going to
day.
say, maybe we'll do that for a different day. But as a business owner, it can be lonely anyway. And then when you add that mental health aspect,
Right.
it can feel even more alone.
Right. And I think the main thing as a business owner too is if you're a solopreneur and everything is sitting on you, one of the main sources of recovery, I want to say, I don't know if that's worded right, but maybe not the sources, but one of the main supports in recovery is having social support.
Mm.
And I think that what we lack in our society is an organization for entrepreneurs related specifically to their mental health.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would be so helpful to have, because if you're a solopreneur, you're the CEO, you're the founder, your vested interest is in your business. You're living that business, you're breathing that business, it's your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't have much else outside of that if you're really in it.
Yep.
And if you don't strike a balance, then you end up in trouble where you're not taking care of yourself. And if you don't have that social support, I feel like that's a key component,
Amen to that.
An idea for the future.
There you go. Yeah. Maybe that's what you're starting.
Maybe, I don't know.
Just saying. So what are some practical things people can do to be more aware of their mental health? Just, a couple things, or one thing that people, like you said, is it patterns? Is it like, what are some things that people can do just to kind of notice that, there might be something coming.
Yeah, I think patterns is a good, but if it's your first, so sometimes they call it first episode psychosis, which isn't the prettiest description of what happens.
Is that what I had?
No, you did not have
Okay,
that.
thank goodness.
I don't think yours is. I'm not a psychiatrist, or a psychologist for that matter. But I don't think what you had was considered that. What I had was considered
Okay.
that.
Poor Christine.
Yeah.
Poor Christine.
Well, anyway, I mean, the thing is, I've been in recovery since 2004. So at this point, it's been 21 years. And so I know when the pattern is happening for me. But in 2004, I did not know. In 2003, leading up to 2004, because mine ended up happening at the end of January in 2004. And if you're first experiencing feeling unwell and you don't know what to attribute it to, I would go see a primary care, to be honest. Go see a professional. And if you think it's something mental, go see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or something of that nature. Because another thing is, pharmaceuticals help some people, but they don't help other people. Like you were saying, they were trying to give you
it was
Xanax or whatever.
Not even a question. I mean, he had a question, but like, this is the first time, yeah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to give you some Xanax. And I didn't even have to go. Oh, no, I did. Sorry. I did have to go to the pharmacy. But he wrote it out like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a delicate balance because some, if you do end up on a pharmaceutical, which isn't for me.
I know. Yeah.
In my journey, I have to. So that's just part of my journey.
Yeah.
Like I've accepted that's part of my journey. Yeah. So as far as preventing what's happening and as far as being more aware, I am a peer supporter. I've taken the 72-hour training. It's overwhelming to Google, to be honest with you, because when I was first in recovery, I remember trying to Google stuff and it was a maze. It's a lot of different terminology that people don't know. Mm-hmm. So to have somebody there to help navigate that terminology and better understand, for instance, the difference between a psychologist and the difference between a psychiatrist. Nuances.
Psychologist is the brain.
They're both brain, but psychiatrists can prescribe.
That's it.
So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I didn't see.
But people don't know because in our generation,
yeah.
I'm just going to say in generation, I guess, wise, it was not common to have a conversation about mental health or substance use disorder.
Nope.
Other than just say no to drugs. I think that was the.
That was yeah.
Whatever you call it. I'm not a marketer.
That was the anti-drug movement.
So one way to prevent a crisis is to reach out as soon as you feel a little bit unwell or feel off. Everybody's makeup is different. And I'm not a professional psychologist. I'm not a professional psychiatrist. I've just had 21 years of living experience I have had 21 years of living experience in relationship to the mental health aspect. Part of the reason I started Vision2Success was related to having engaging dialogue, having dialogue about, it's more focused on mission, vision, and values and strategic planning, but at the same time, the importance is surrounding the dialogue related to those things.
Love it. Where can people find you?
Vision, the word vision, the number 2.
www.
Right. Vision2Success.com. And it's the number 2.
And you're on all the social medias?
Yes. Instagram, I'm on as, I think, YourVision2Success instead of just Vision2Success because Vision.
You have YouTube too?
I do have YouTube.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, duh, because that's where people are watching this.
Oh, okay.
But, well, for people who aren't watching, for people listening, that you do have a YouTube.
Right. Okay. And LinkedIn, of course, and it's Christine-Conan-MBA.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Christine.
You're welcome.
We'll have another conversation soon.
Okay. But I just want to say, if you do end up on one, make sure you're under the care of a psychiatrist, and make sure that if you decide to not be on it anymore, you're also under the care of a psychiatrist, because there can be severe effects. Hello. The Your Vision to Success podcast is intended for personal growth and storytelling. If you are experiencing a mental health emergency, please dial 988.